Yeah, hi. Welcome back. Welcome to Sridhar's newsletter number 27. And as discussed in many of our previous podcast episode, and basically we are adding the audio version for the newsletter so that you can find entire newsletter. People who would like to read, they can simply read the article, and people who would like the audio version of it, they can just click a button on the site, and you can also find these things on the audio on your favorite podcast like Apple or Spotify. So right now I'm currently on these two platforms. Um, so I really appreciate you being here, and thanks for all the viewers who are actually. I'm seeing that a lot of people are visiting at the same time. People are listening to the podcast a lot. So thanks. It seems it's working good, this particular format. So please feel free to subscribe to the channel. So that is my name, sridhargaripati.substack.com. Or if you want to subscribe only for the audio version, then our show name is Minimalist Techie. You can find it on Apple Podcast or Spotify Podcast. Okay. Even you don't utilize those podcast apps, that's fine. You can always get it on my link. You can simply play it on your browser, on your mobile, or on your laptop, so wherever you would like to listen to. So this is a weekly newsletter which mostly talks about the books, articles, or videos, whatever I watch, I read and watch, and especially my viewpoint on different topics which revolves around my head during the week. So now let's dive into this week's reads. So the very first one is from a Wall Street Journal article that is I named it as "End of Dictator Boss." So this week, Wall Street Journal did an article titled with "Your Next Boss May Be More of a Coach Than a Director." For sure, a good read. I'm sharing only the title as Wall Street Journal is a paid site to read articles. So search with the title on your own if it interests you. At high level, this is enough old truth surfacing again and again that toxic bosses who are with attitude of I said so, I told you, I mentioned it, right? Or being whistleblown since multiple decades, and we still see them existing very much at our workplace. Grow up in career ladder, and very few are shown exit door. This trend where workplace will see fewer managers, more status reports, less administrative work have been kickstarted during the 2008 recession itself. At the client place, we have seen this trend already, where previously there used to be people administrative leads, managers, people to do some list type of activities, acting as a communicator between onshore, offshore, acting as communicating between client and the individual contracting teams. So a lot of these type of jobs used to be existed. 2008 recession definitely have changed it. At the client place, we have seen this trend already, but we still have this culture in the larger teams. So even I don't think they had never gone away fully, because the more bigger the clients are, the more bigger the vendors, the contracting companies are supporting for their work. You'll see that the clients are pushing work to the bigger vendor, so they can deal with so mostly with one big vendor, and they can talk directly to the headshots, and the headshots will basically take care of rest of their down team. So so the culture is not definitely not gone, that is still there. So that's the reason I said it is still there in the larger teams, in the consultant teams who are providing team services for the clients. So it's not fully gone, I would say. So those type of communicator boss are still there. So the future what we may see is where client is only the boss. I really think this will definitely happen. We are already seeing with a lot of agile projects going running around since 2013. Definitely last entire decade we have seen a lot of agile projects, and definitely last 7 years we have been on ride with agile projects in my career at least. So are definitely pretty, yeah, they still sprint managers from masters, still certain type of people are still there, who was facilitators, I would say. But the future which I'm right now I'm experiencing, I have experienced in a couple of my projects in couple of last 6 to 7 years, And what I'm also envisioning is there might be a perfect future where we may see a case where client is only the boss and rest all in the team. Doesn't matter whether you are the employee from a client or you are a vendor who will be working for the client. It doesn't matter who you are. I Client will only be in a boss in the future, and rest everyone will be in a working team members. Everyone will be accountable for some or other deliveries. So definitely not additional bosses or managers. So from the article, definitely give a read. See boss, and from the article, I would say what they mentioned is, uh, for them the dictator boss will go away, and they're saying that the new type of boss titles are going to emerge, like boss will be a coach, boss is not a dictator, a social emotional expert, so who wants to help you navigate company culture and excel in the workplace, so which is characterized by a rapid relentless change. So yes, see, we have been seeing this change since more than a decade already. At least I have seen it in my own career. Yes, everyone who who likes to work with an asshole boss, right? So if you definitely know, right? So you want to work with someone who actually listens to their own team members, right? So who doesn't want to work with someone who you can look up to, and that guy can be your mentor for your career, rather than holding you, help you moving up in the ladder, right? Who doesn't want to be talking in a stressful time to a team members or a boss who can be emotionally available with us, emotionally can connect with us as well, rather than reacting it, right? Definitely, we all want such type of personalities, and that's what entire every team deserves. But I really don't think that the manager jobs are going away anytime soon. Only the companies who have talent density does not need a manager to see work is getting completed on time or not. The agile teams, if they plan very well for their sprints as well as organized enough to keep the ball rolling on their own. This still does not work for the companies who do not have talent density. The teams which has a different skill level resources for a same skill still need a boss to be around. See, every organization plans to build a team or a higher talent density, but we all have that A team comes with a huge price tag. So organizations for whom pricing is not an issue, they get all A players. Whereas the organizations where they must balance or work within budget, they end up picking non-A players. So many of us struggle with this, and we clearly see that leads managers are not going to be less, rather than getting adds up in this type of an organization where they have non-A players. Because and these lead manager position, they are going to be working more than you ever thought of. I have seen this in my own career. Do not, I'm talking about the delivery leads and the managers, not the administrative leads and the managers. There's a lot of difference between these two. So, do we need a coach or a mentor type of a boss? Yes, coaches are required when we train the resource fresh out of the college, or where the mentors are required any time of your career, so that they people can help each other, right? Mentorship is also very important. But do we really need a person who is having this particular type of title, that a boss with a title as a coach or mentor boss? No. So see, once you're part of working teams, we'll not need a person with a title as coaches or mentors in the team. This is something organically grows within the team, where team members need to act as coaches and mentors. You don't have to tell these type of people and these type of teams. It automatically grows within the team actually. So everyone should learn this type of soft skills: how to be a better coach, how to be a better mentor to help your own team members. Right? So these are the skill set which every team member or everyone should have on your team. Yeah. So that's the reason why that article definitely made me think, and I'm just posting my thoughts on it, why I differed a little bit on that. Definitely, but definitely I would say it's a good topic to give a read. So let me know your thoughts, and this topic will kickstart our topic two. So basically, the topic two is on this particular pod is hiring an A team. So building an A team. So Steve Jobs mentioned in one of his interviews that why his team achieves so best is because every one of his team members are exceptionally high talented people. So Netflix CEO Reed Hastings mentioned in his latest book, No Rules Rules. Definitely damn good book, I would say. I have read it twice, and they calls his team as a sports team. Okay, he don't treat a team or company as a family. No, he, according to him, it's a sports team, and only top performers who can make the team win has a position for themselves. So definitely read the book, and this is they call the I guess this is what they call it as a talent density. See, when we have a star performers in the team, they select likewise top performers to join their own team, and they perform way better, complementing with each other. Because normally, those type of star performers in a certain teams they'll be struggling a lot, and because they'll be the only one carrying two or three people work on their shoulders. But when they see that their next colleague is also a star performer like them, actually this helps them to achieve even bigger things in the team. So, so one thing is not every company can shell such a high compensation like how Apple or Netflix pays to their employees. So for rest of the organizations, building an A team is a bigger task on day-to-day basis. There will be here and there a star performer in the team who performs beyond his two to three other teammates and they run the show. This is the truth. However, you agree or not, with all budget constraints, time to fill position early for not losing the billing, need someone as soon as possible as work getting increased more and more. Time window to hire a new teammate gets smaller and smaller. Let me share what I look during the hiring process. I have been on interview panels since more than a decade now in my career, and my recruitment team hates me. See, saying from my 10 plus years of experience in hiring resources for my team, see, for them, I reject too many candidates, and I have even pulled into a cases where my interview audios were being checked or the questionnaire has been discussed widely that what I have been asking in the interviews and what other person has responded. And after a little bit of drama, they all come back and to be on the same page with me that my action for rejection has a valid reasons. And they have been right, and they simply go back and start sharing me a new profiles again. But definitely, some have clearly mentioned that I am their nightmare whenever they have to fulfill for my team. They really have to spend a lot of time to dig more good profiles for me. So my advice to anyone out there reading this or hearing my podcast is to look for below few things when you hire someone to your team. Ensure they have a strong skill set to perform the project tasks. See, not all fingers on your hand are same. In a family, all are treated equal. We carry the same sentiment to the workplace as well. Organizations have shown idiotic bell curve to rate their employees, yeah, and they give hikes as per the curve they will fall in. So you like take example, you have a team of five members, not all, and your employer treats your five employers on a bell curve. You are rated very differently, but still you are working for the same project. You still have to deliver the same. Basically, yes, all five are supposed to be equal, but so, however, but problem is you have this problem. This is situated in this idiotic bell curve, uh, not just for the rating, even for the hikes or whatever it is, and this is what the making the organizations fail. See, however your project tasks are, do not divide your team into strong or a basic skill resource. So one person is getting in the bigger ticket items, and other is simply working on the smaller item because they are not that much having a strong skills. We must balance and I would say leave this bullshit aside. At the time of hiring, look for the person who has all required skills to perform project tasks, however the basic task it is or how complex it might be. The person you select to be part of your team should be able to perform all of your project tasks, team tasks within a greater efficiency. However, the pressure you have to close the position, do not compromise at this particular step. Please get your star performer, get your A player. Second is they should be able to work independently. So do not make a mistake of hiring someone with an assumption that they meet your basic skill set and you can ramp them up with a day-to-day little push. See, you already have enough on your plate and you can coach your existing team members to upskill. You can mentor them, you can coach your existing team members. But when you get a chance to hire someone new, make sure you don't know that particular person. You are just spending that half an hour, 60 minutes, or 2 hours of an interview call. So please don't go for assumptions. Please make sure you get the A player and ensure that they can work independently. So in the world of agile or even in the case of waterfall projects, fixed bid projects, if you are spending time on a day-to-day basis and spoon feeding your teammates to get the work done, then you will be the first person to exit the team with a high burnout, as you are neither working to your own full potential on your own tasks, as you are making sure your teammates also complete their tasks, and you are also trying to juggle to complete yours as well. So I'm not saying that do not help teammates. My point is do not spoon feed on every task. If you have such a team member, it is a time to lose one. So get a team member who can work independently. Yes, you cannot simply dump work on someone to get it done. Make sure you share all the information so they can march towards their task on their own. See, when I say independent, you can count on them making your team win. You should not be worried about how all team statuses, entire team status, as every one of your team are here to make the team win. So you should not be worried as an individual. So the key skill needs to be here is a, a person should be having a growth mindset. They should be very curious to learn new skills and improvising the existing skills. So give their they have to give their 100% before they raise a hand for an help. The third is a person should be easier to talk to. Yes, communication is very important. We do not need an arrogant star performer. We would need a person who is easier to talk to. So it is very important to not overlook the skill when hiring. When you get a resource who is very strong in his skills, able to finish their tasks pretty well, but not a team player or not working in the best interest of team. See, I am a straightforward person myself, and it shows in my workplace as well. So that is what I am as a person. I cannot hide it easily. But to work in a teams, I need to adapt my feedback sharing little different so other person can take it well and act on it as well. Yeah? This is only possible when two people are easier to talk to. So if you are hiring someone in that 60-minute window, do check for this skill for sure. Else it will be very hard to talk to one day on a day-to-day basis if you guys differ on your own project, and you'll never have a clear communications with everyone on your team. So do look out for this particular skill. Person should be easier to talk to. Let me know in the comments what are your top three lookouts when hiring a new person. Now to the third topic, uh, things to ask while taking up a remote job. So I was taking interviews for job openings in my team this week. As we are in the COVID-19 situation, any of the current requirements are to be remote itself. But I still need to know once we are back to normal, will they be comfortable to report on site? So for my job, I'm an IT employee, and for my job, and location is not a constraint, but because we can simply work on a laptop sitting anywhere. But it is in my checklist that I was told to ask every time because my management want people to be at on site. So normally you will be hearing a regular reason such as I want to be remote as I have a house in a specific location, or my kids education, they're going to certain college, I would like to be staying with them in the same city, or maybe their life partner is working in a certain location where they don't want to move for the second person job in another location. So this week one person asked me how much time I will be spending in meetings versus work. I asked why such specific task. Ask, we will all have project specific meetings for sure, not too many meetings. So, do they have any experience based upon which they have been asking? So, the person mentioned their current work location, where since last 10 months being remote, their team is bugging with too many meetings and calls and very less room for work. And they're feeling very burnt out. So, that is the specific reason for them to look out for a new job, and because the current situation wanted to be remote as well. See, for sure, the reason is not really why they wanted to be in a remote. They wanted to have a remote job, uh, ensure the time is not spent on the meetings, as we will be silo in our work, as there is no teammate sitting next to you in your home, right? So one need room to concentrate on performing the assigned task. Too many meetings definitely are not good. But yeah, if that is stopping someone's day-to-day work, so you should be calling it out. Team should come back and discuss on this one. So see one more person in this week who requested a remote and shared his timings as 10 a.m. EST to the 7 p.m. So we start our project calls by 8:30, 9 o'clock we have meetings, 9:30 we have. So, but his timings he requested, he would be available for work from 10 to 7. Yes, he's still doing his 8 hours of deliverables, but thing is his timings are a little bit out of our project start and end. This is not the topic I want to talk here. I'm just calling it out that yes, in my interviews I noticed that people are asking few things uh, during this time when we are remote working remotely, and they're asking certain things which are not truly a case for being remote, but more often a burnout due to the working from home and struggling to handle home and work course simultaneously. So guys, we all are in the same boat on this one. So it's the same pain everyone is going through. But let's go back to our topic actually. So I got once an opportunity either to work at my client location, going to client office every day, day to day, Monday to Friday, go every day, morning 8 o'clock, leave by 5. So, or work in a in an internal office location, which is more of a remote job. And you that internal job either you have to be at the internal office, basically no clients there, just your own team members. That's all. And you can working at those internal office, or you can simply work from home. Basically, you are sitting in a different state than where your client and entire client people are sitting. So I selected a position at a client location, so which require me to report to office every day in office Monday to Friday, 8 to 5. And I decided, and I picked. I made certain judgments, but I had some questions in my mind when I had to choose between am I interested in certain remote office setup location, or am I interested in a client location. So something I ran certain scenarios in my head. I had something as a few of my asks. So I feel at this point of time when many of the people are looking for the remote, they should be they should be knowing certain thing what needs to be properly been asked in your interviews when you are applying for a remote job, so you can make a better judgment whether do you really want to be in a remote forever, whether is the remote is really good for you, or once we are about to back to normal, do you want to come back to work? But if you are looking for remote for time being, and please make sure that you are asking certain specific things. Let me share a couple of what I would like to discuss. Normally, if at all I am opting for a remote job. So as you will work remote, ask how your quarterly, semi, or the annual reviews will be done by your manager. Looking at what metrics will they decide your success in the role. Okay. Know what your uh, career growth path in this particular position would be. As being remote, many will face a situation as left out in the team and struggles to get the team attention, or will start feeling as not so much growth for them as they are fully remote. They does not know anyone's face to face, and to know will there be a long term future for them at all or not. So your head will be spinning in this one, and rather you being in the dark zone, do make sure that you ask these questions. Second is, do check what will be the communication tools used for a day-to-day work. Employer who is offering a remote job should enable you to work with messenger tools for chat, the audio calls, the video callings, or any bridge callings. You may need to call people, multiple people from a multiple geographical locations. You should not be spending, say, your own mobile bill for joining those teamwork calls. And for the issue we discussed, instead of asking for the issue what we discussed in the agenda, so instead of asking will there be too many meetings, rephrase the ask. How team or the project meetings, daily stand-ups, and what percentage will one need to be in those calls? Yeah, so that one can gain the enough details, so they can perform the task for the rest of the day. Right, so rephrase it and ask properly, so that you can quantify your meetings, or your because probably you're not sitting at one work location, right? Say if at all you're getting into some issue, you need to talk to someone over the call now, because you're not sitting in the same location, that person is not sitting next to you to simply hop over your desk and start resolving your issues. So definitely do make sure that rephrase it and ask properly, and get to know how will you navigate to socialize with other team members. Say if at all every team member is remote, working from a n number of locations, will there be any team meetups or online hangouts? As say, we are not robots to just talk for simply do a business talk and carry on with our work for the rest of the day, right? Team achieves bigger things when they work well with each other, complement each other in their work. Yeah, so do get to know, so that will help you to socialize, so you won't be thinking that you are working your ass off, but basically no one is here to measure your success, evaluate or give a feedback, so to recognize your hard work. So, and when there is a need to be at a work site, do ask this one. Like right now, yes, it is remote, but would they ask us to come once in a quarter or once in a 6 months? So we don't know. So say 1 week workshop is going on, and every client wants everyone assembled to one particular location for 1 week. At that time, as it is team workshop, well, the employer will take care of entire 1 week arrangements for you to be in a separate location other than your home location. What would be the working hours? Yeah, if you all work in a specific location and in a same time zone, then no worries. But if you are in a different time zone, which say differ in US a few hours apart based upon where one is situated, your 6 a.m. might be 9 a.m. for others. So for such time zone country you are in, sure check about your work timings ahead, and do not be surprised later if you are finding out, then it will lead to another burnout very easily. I have seen in my own interviews as well, a couple of people were sharing this particular reason. maybe like with the tide, they don't know, like without, how come without knowing they applied for certain employer who are 3 hours apart from their time zone, and now they're complaining, now performing their job for 6 months, now they're complaining that the timing is literally keeping them doing double the work. Don't know, so don't know, like if they should be knowing that right before. So if you accepting some remote job, please make sure you know the working hours, so you don't have to regret just after joining and started working in a 3 hours apart, and some days you'll be feeling burnt out. Let me know in comments what additionally you would like to know before accepting a remote job. See, as we will be remote for sure, even more, and returning to normal just looks to be beyond end of 2020 as well for me. Yeah, I don't think, maybe if by mid of this year, if at all, lucky to get, we'll get lucky. Regular normal people like us will get a vaccination, and we have to see entire country has to get vaccinated. People start moving outside, and still even with a vaccination how the viruses will behave, so we don't know, right? I really don't think how 2021 returning back to completely normal may take all the way till 2022 as well, because even if mid of May I'm taking vaccines, then I don't think even after vaccinations we have to still take the precautionary caution, wear masks, maintain the social distancing, right? So definitely, we will be in this remote, but in this time, many of you have taken the remote jobs in last 10 months already. So do share your experience as well in comments or reply to my email, or I'll post this one on my Twitter. My Twitter handle is at the rate Swami1, and we can have a conversation. Your experience would help other people. So if while they're accepting a remote job. So that is all for this week. See you guys again. Do subscribe our Apple or Spotify podcast wherever you listen to. If you would like to hear an audio version of the post, and definitely you can read the articles directly on my website sridharkaripati.substack.com. So our show name is Minimalist Techie, and do you can find them on these two platforms, Apple Podcast and Spotify Podcast. So do let me know, or reply me or my email in the comment section, and share what is your view on this particular post or this pod, and how you guys, I hope you guys are liking this particular version of article and audio in the same uh, post. So share, like, subscribe, whatever these days kids says, boss. Stay connected, share happiness, and stay connected, share ideas, spread happiness. Thank you.